Hello. I am making a quick vlog. It's 3:50 in the morning and I haven't slept, and that's because I stayed up last night until I think it was 5:30 in the morning, and then I slept all the way until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, my sleep schedule's all messed up again. I was sleeping very well, going to bed at around 10, sometimes 9, waking up at 7, sometimes 6. But now I'm back to being a night owl. I don't really like being a night owl anymore. I prefer being up during the day and doing things. Anyway, I thought I'd make this vlog to revisit a couple of things that I talked about before. And that is, first thing I want to talk about are the schools. Um, you know, everybody talks about education and fire good teachers and fire bad teachers and uh make your students learn, all that kind of stuff. But it's not working. It's not, especially not in the inner cities. So, education doesn't need to change the way it is. It doesn't need to stay the way it is and change. It needs to change radically, completely. So, my schools that I described prior to my nervous breakdown are the schools that if I had money, I would start, and I would put one just to test it out here, probably in East Cleveland, and see how it does. Just see. And then I put it in the disadvantaged neighborhoods or areas around the country to give them a fighting chance. Because really, sit at a desk, listen to a lecture, no matter what, even if the teacher gives you uh kinesthetic and the rest of the stuff, uh and and uh and does a variety of methods, it doesn't work all the time for people. Some people are really depressed. Some people are going through a hard time, and it's better to have fun while you're learning than it is to sit with a teacher who doesn't reach you, you know? So, like, what I would do is I would, like, the school, let me just recap a little bit about the schools. They would be campuses. I'm talking about high schools. There would be campuses, and there would be classes from 9 until 7 p.m. But at 5, classes stop, and the last 2 hours would be time for students to go do their homework or go to a learning room. I forgot what I called them before. A learning room, like a biology room where they could do experiments and just exploratory rooms. I think that's what I called them. Uh, or or art rooms where they can go and just paint and have people there to help them out with whatever they want, or go to what else? A science room, go to a math room, go to a all different kinds of rooms, a band room, a music room, a computer room where they can learn programming and the like. They can go to a studio where they can record uh, their own music, and like a recording studio, and all kinds of exploratory rooms. But they have to stay there until 7 unless they have an excuse from the parents to leave early. And they can only leave early, I don't know, I'll just a limited amount of days per year. Um, but understandable that sometimes they have to leave early. Anyway, so the classes, and like I said before, there'll be lounges everywhere for kids to sit down and read and just enjoy learning. Lots of learning stuff all around. Educational games everywhere, chess, some chess everywhere, a chess room where they can go play chess. It's one of the exploratory rooms and other games like that. And what else? And the lessons would be, see, I'm still stuck with contemporary lessons, the kind of lessons that we do now, sit and lecture and hands-on kinesthetic and all the rest of the stuff. I can't even remember the stuff anymore. It's been so long since I taught. Anyway, um, auditory and verbal, and I can't even remember. I can't remember. Anyway, I can't think of yet how to change that. How to, you can try the reverse classroom. That's a good idea. I think that's a pretty good idea. But what do you do? I mean, because you have to get it all in the same day. So, what I would propose is for them to to go to the room and study their lessons with the teacher in case they have any questions. Set it up that way so this is their homework. They do their homework as reading or watching a video that explains everything to them. It's still boring. It's still extremely boring. And then they go, no, I don't even know. See, I still don't know. It needs to be changed radically. And yet, I can't even think of a way to change the classroom, the actual classrooms, because it's too hard on the teachers to have tons and tons and tons of grading every night and because you can't get out of it. I tried so hard in the years that I taught to not have that many papers to grade, but it never failed. I always had tons of papers to grade and lessons to plan in all different things. So I guess what I would propose is this. I had a biology teacher, and the biology teacher taught through slides, and it was very interesting. He did slides for everything. So maybe it would be like that, but we would create the lesson plans ahead of time so that the teachers wouldn't have to do the lesson plans. So that something interesting like that, where the teachers show the students what they what they're learning, showing them through slides. Well, obviously we don't have slides anymore, but whatever they're called now, through pictures. So through pictures and short videos of what they're learning, and that could easily be done with the internet. So pictures and short videos of the things they're teaching, and then they can uh they can do their homework in the classroom, because with that they should be able to do their homework, and their homework for each class depends on how long the lesson was. So however long the lesson was, whatever time is left over for after the lesson is the time they have to do their homework. So, and that means that the teachers can take the homework home and grade it very quickly. They don't have to have a lot of homework, but just enough homework uh to be prepared. Obviously for English and for other subjects, well, there are some subjects that are going to require the students to take the homework home, but they can begin it in the classroom and then finish it at home. Or during the 2 hours that they have at the end of the day, or during their free periods throughout the day. They should have free periods throughout the day to go and explore the different things that the school has to offer. And that was a basic, uh, a basic thing about the schools. You can't keep doing the same thing. Isn't I don't remember who said it because I think it was Einstein who said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So, why are we still having schools set up exactly the way they're set up with a big building, classrooms, hard seating, little tiny desks with hard seating, and a teacher that stands in front? Now they have whiteboards and they have computers and they have stuff, but that's still not getting through to the students. It's still not making it fun. It's not making it enjoyable. It's not like, and if I could do anything else to change the way besides pictures and short videos, I would. Like hands on, some hands on stuff, but that comes with the homework. And pictures and videos uh and I can't even think what else. And hands-on things and lots of different ways of learning, but fun. Really, really fun and dynamic so that the kids are really engaged. They don't have to they don't have to really sit for a 50-minute lecture or do activities they find boring. So that's what I would do. And I did mention that I would provide religious services for the students, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I would do that if I had my own city, but I don't know if I would do that with schools out in the open, like secular schools. I don't think so. But it's a private school, and I would definitely have a class on world religions. I would. So people could know. And I would definitely teach respect for religions, respect for Roman Catholicism, Christianity, and the rest. And try to give people an understanding of the religions. And that's it. Oh, you know, obviously the uniforms. I did talk about the uniforms. I want something different, something unique, something high fashion but conservative and businesslike, so that the students can go to school feeling good. And if I had the money, I would be the one to give family, each student, each family, for each student, a a voucher for different pieces so they can mix and match and have their uniform. You know, mix and match, and shoes too. There'll be some shoes to choose from. There'll be some pants to choose from. For girls, there'll be some skirts to choose from, some tights that they can choose from because they have to wear the right tights too. They can't just wear any tights. Some tights, some some different sweaters, and some different blouses, and same thing for the boys. Some different shoes, some different socks, and girls different socks too, because I have to wear the standard socks, pants, shirts, ties. If there are ties, I don't know if they're going to be ties, but there may be ties for the boys, and sweaters and jackets. So, because I want them to be businesslike. So, and really go to school understanding that they're not going, that they have to look presentable. I know I haven't looked presentable, but I used to, and I really do take it seriously. It started to come back to me that I remember finally. Oh, that's right. I would never leave the house unless I looked appropriate. And that's right. I always fix myself up every day, even when I was sitting at home, uh, just doing nothing. And I always did something to make myself look presentable, but I haven't. And I even got on my vlog looking unpresentable with messy hair and no makeup and looking terrible. So I don't have makeup on tonight. See? No makeup. But it's already, what, three, probably, I don't even know what time. Something like some three, no, 4:10 by now. So anyway, so that's the schools, you know, because seriously, it needs to be shaken up. It needs to be shaken up. Really, I don't believe that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I just think that's stupid. Because I know insanity. I've been insane, and that's not insanity. It's just stupid to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Uh, it's stupid. It's not insane. Um, so let's see. If I ever get money, I will open the first school here in East Cleveland to see how it goes. Businesslike. Businesslike attire. Very appropriate, but high fashion. I was gonna go for um a uniform that was more futuristic, but I'm thinking more businesslike is more appropriate for, at least for these times, for modern times, you know? Maybe the futuristic would be too much for right now. So, although we could give them futuristic clothes for their casual days, you know, we can give them some stuff like that, like I was talking about before, for their casual days, because they'll have some casual days. No jeans, absolutely no jeans, and no leggings. So, but it's a school and they have to take it seriously. You know, when I was in high school, I did terribly. I did so bad. I hated high school. I hated the hard seats. I hated going from class to class and only having 5 minutes to get from one class to the other, and then pay attention and get to your locker and carry a ton of books and listen to a boring lecture and just sit there and take notes. And I hated it. I hated high school. I hated high school. And but every time I sat down, I sat up straight and listened. That was just my habit. I just did that. But I barely passed high school. But I did well in college because it was different. You didn't have, there was a lot more freedom. There was still lectures and stuff like that, but there was a lot more freedom. And there were breaks between the classes, and the material was different, and I found it much more enjoyable. So, but but no, high school I hated. I hated high school. So Let's see what we can do if it ever happens that I get money about changing the way schools are. It is, I'm telling you, doing the same thing over and over again is not insanity. It's not, but it's really stupid. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is not insanity. It's stupid. So anyway, but yeah, so that's the schools, and I got to think of even different ways to teach because we have to reach everyone in a fun and dynamic way. So, and students are hurt, especially during their teenage years. They're going through teenage angst. They're so sensitive about everything. And so, there are cliques and so many things in a teenager's life that could get them down and make them not want to learn. And so we got to make them happy during the classroom, make them feel welcome, make them feel like they're enjoying themselves, make them feel like they want to go to school and they love school. I want them to love school. Love, love, love school. So, I'm hoping that's the first step in the right direction. Um, but obviously, I was only a teacher. I do have a master's in curriculum and instruction, and I did take curriculum, no, methodology when I studied in Spain, and methodology in undergrad, but it's still not what I'm thinking of. That's still the old ways. So I would have to I'd have to like brainstorm with a lot of innovative educators to come up with a new way for the classroom to be completely entertaining for the students. And also, write the lesson plans for all the teachers for the entire year so they don't have to worry about planning lessons. It'll all be done for them. They obviously have the right to change it as they wish if they feel they need to change it, but if they change it so it's boring, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. If they make it even more fun, but leave out information, that's not acceptable either. They just have to make sure that the classroom is fun and welcoming, and that the material gets covered. Yes. And then, okay, so that's that. That's the schools. And what else was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about one other thing. And I can't remember what it is right now. You know, I'm thinking that if I am as smart as I think I am, then I will be able to have my own city because I will make tons and tons of money. I know I will. And I really do want my own city, you know? Maybe not a city, but my own village, uh, or whatever that, like, I private property, my own private property that I build houses on, and roads and streets and bridges with angels holding them up, and a Catholic park that's dedicated to the Holy Family, but especially Jesus Christ and the Virgin Mary and Saint Joseph, well, the Holy Family. So, and churches and a chapel with perpetual rosaries, and live feed to so that people can pray along with the rosary. It just plays 24 hours a day. Anytime they want, they can pray. They can turn in and pray the rosary and submit their petitions. They can submit petitions for the rosary. So, um, and also a chapel. where the where it's 24-hour adoration, so that can be done. 20 and then 24-hour confessions, and the park will stay open 24 hours a day, so anyone could come at any time of the day or night and feel safe because there'll be plenty of security. I think a park like that in this day and time really needs security. Uh, and so will the whole city because it'll be centered around Jesus. So, but you don't have to be Catholic to live there. But it will be centered around Jesus. So, anyways, but that's that. And so, yeah. So, I can't think of what else I was going to say. I was going to say one other thing about this whole business of sleeping around and just having casual sex and just doing stuff. I remember. See, the media does this to you. The media just starts and it's a plan. It's all been a plan to really erode the the morality of people. For example, in the 80s, most of the female singers dressed normally. They had clothes on, and they sing about cute things like today started. I can't sing, so I'm not going to sing. Today started with a crazy kiss on our way home. A kiss. And then Debbie Gibson, and then who sang really nice, wholesome songs, and a bunch of other um, singers. I mean, there were still songs with a lot of sex in them, like Duran Duran, and I think In Excess had some too. But for the most part, at least the female singers had clean songs. But then Madonna came along, and Madonna changed everything. She changed everything. She started wearing, doing her thing with sex, and then she got on TV and she just said, in an interview, she said, I just want people to have sex. I just want people to have sex. I just want people to have sex. And so she was very influential, and she puts it out there, and she put it out there in a book, the sex book that she put out, and people knew she was all about sex, and she still is, and she has a huge fan base still. So, and then Debbie Gibson came along when she not Debbie Gibson, Britney Spears, and then the rest of them, and now they all dress very scantily, and they sing about sex, and they little by little it just started going down this route, and they sing about sex, and then they get on the floor and writhe, or they do the twerk, all kinds of stuff. They do all kinds of stuff. It's really terrible. It's really terrible what uh female singers are doing on stage, and hello, uh her name is on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember her name. Hannah Montana. I forgot her real name. Her real name. I can't remember her real name. But she was so wholesome, and like pretty much overnight she turned wild. And she did the twerk with that other guy on the Grammys. It was terrible. It was terrible. That's terrible stuff. So, but I just wanted to say this about casual sex. You should care about yourself enough to not put yourself in situations where bad things are going to happen. For example, go out with a guy you know only wants one thing and you don't want it. Don't go out with him. Don't have sex with someone if you're not ready to have a baby, because that might happen, even with a condom. Don't have sex with someone if you don't want a disease, because that might happen, even with a condom. Don't have sex with someone if you don't want them talking about you, because everyone has a mouth and word gets around. Guys compare notes all the time. Guys are always interested in what a woman's like in bed, what they look like, what they wear, what they do, how they sound. It's true. It's gross, but they are. And then they spread it around and they giggle about it. And they'll giggle in front of you about you and make fun of you. So, if you don't want all that happening to you and you'd rather have just happiness in your life, then don't have sex with people. Like, don't even have sex, you know? Just wait. Anyway, don't you want a guy who respects you, who is not going to talk bad about you, who is going to keep your your private things to himself? You need to wait for the right guy. There are plenty of men like that out there. You have to wait, open your eyes, wait and see. Don't be dumb like now I forgot her name. I'm forgetting names now. Um Sarah Jessica Parker in Sex and the City, that she had a sweet boyfriend who would do anything for her, and she cheated on him, and she dumped him, and and she was so terrible to him, and he was the nicest guy to her. And then she went for a guy who cheated on her, cheated on his wife, married someone else right under her nose, left her at the altar, jerked her around, used her for sex, and she still wanted him. Don't be like that. Why would you be like that? Go for the guy who likes you, who's gonna. It's simple. I remember on Designing Women, uh, I don't remember all their names, but the one with curly red hair. She what I don't watch that show, by the way. It's impure. I don't watch it, but I did back in the 80s. Anyway, and I don't recommend that show at all because it is impure. But I'm just saying what she said made a lot of sense. She was like kind of seeing two guys at the same time, or she was seeing one guy and her ex came back, something like that. Anyway, um, one guy was like, okay, just all serious and and just like kind of distant. And the other guy was so kind and so nice to her. And she said, you know, it's a choice. Would I rather have a guy who will show up when I have a flat tire and fix it for me? Or would I rather have a guy who doesn't care enough to even take my call when my tire is flat? So, you know, wouldn't you rather have a guy who takes the time to get to know you and is really interested in you? You know? Don't you want that? Instead of a guy who's just unavailable, emotionally unavailable, and mean, and not even mean. He doesn't even have to be mean. Just wants nothing more than cheap sex, you know, to use you. But you don't want to feel used. You know, There are times, even if you are strong, and you say, I can sleep around, it's not a big deal. There are times that you're just going to feel dirty or gross or sick about yourself because you just had sex with someone that you didn't know that well and you just did it. And now, ugh, and you get that sick feeling in your stomach because it's wrong. That's why you shouldn't do that because it's it's just wrong. But I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. I'm just going to tell you that um, that there are a lot of consequences to it. So if you're smart, you won't do it. You'll just relax, hang out, and wait for the right guy to come along. Wait for the guy, and there is someone for everyone. Don't be fooled into thinking that you have to take the first guy. Sometimes it takes a long time, but no, there is someone for everyone. There are plenty of fish in the ocean. There are billions of people on this planet. You don't have to worry. There are millions of people in the United States. So don't worry. Don't worry. Just relax. You will find the right guy if you wait for him. Okay? You will find, and guys, same for you. You don't want to go around messing with girls who are just going to use you for your money and just and not treat you well just because they're good looking. You don't want to do that. I don't know, maybe you do because guys want a trophy wife. But maybe it's best that you look for someone who has the heart that you're looking for. Someone who's going to take care of you and be there for you when you really need them, emotionally supportive. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying. And I'm not a guy, so I can't really speak for men. I only know from what I hear from women that that those kinds of things happen. And women do cheat too. You don't want someone who's going to cheat on you. So wait until you find the right girl. Anyway, I'm going to end it now. It's been 37 minutes, and I'm sure I bored you all to death, but that's my vlog for today. Bye. Oh, I hope everybody watching has a great day and things go your way. All right, bye.